Okay, I've been watching CNN as of lately, and of course they have been talking about dolls. Um, First, it was a couple of days ago with Obama dolls. A toy company has come out and created two Afro-American dolls with Obama's daughters' names. The toy company said that these dolls are not uh, replicas are made because of the Obama daughters. They just made them, and because they liked the Obama daughters' names, they gave these two dolls those names. I think that's more so like a marketing ploy. Um, but I think they thought maybe the Obamas would kind of sign off on it if, they were getting that vibe that these dolls were maybe created for their daughters. But of course, Miss Obama was not crazy about the idea, um, using her children like that to try and make money for their company. Um, that case, I was like, okay. But then I'm watching the news this morning and they're talking about the Carly Anthony doll. So the guy comes on CNN and he's like, I made this doll in honor of Carly Anthony, and the proceeds go to the missing and exploited children. My thing as a parent, I have a child. If one of my children were to be murdered, I don't think that I would want to see other people walking around with a doll of my murdered child. I don't know how the parents feel and the grandparents feel about this doll situation. They really haven't said anything about it. So, but I think it would be hard to, go somewhere and see somebody carrying a doll that is to resemble a child that you had murdered. Um, I know children are abducted and murdered, in the United States a lot, and, that's a major problem, but, you know, where do you draw the line? You know, a flyer, a t-shirt in remembrance is one thing, but, he's not related to them in any kind of way, and he's making money off of their grief, basically. I mean, when you donate something to a charity, you only have to give so much. And then you can take so much out to say, for uh, your own spending purposes to, you know, uh, sideline of what you had to use to make these dolls. So, he could be making $29.99 and giving 99 cents of that to a charity. And, as long as he's saying, hey, I'm making these dolls and I'm giving to this charity, who's to say what? So it's like, I know times are hard, but, you know, when does it, when do you really draw a line at what you do to make money? Um, it's getting crazy out there just because of the economy, but that's somebody's grief. That those parents, the grandparents, definitely are grieving over what has happened to their grandchild. So, where is the respect? Have we become so money hungry that we don't even have that kind of respect for people that are grieving and for the dead? You know, it's one thing to have a child that's alive and flourishing and you want to make a doll after them, but to have a child that is deceased, to make a doll for the public to buy, to carry around, I'm not buying that. And I hope that the grandparents don't sign off on something like that. I wouldn't myself personally, but then that's just me, and each person has their own different view, and you have to respect that too. So I don't know. I just thought that that was kind of bizarre that they did that, but like I said, those are just my own personal views. They may not be the views of other people. Some people may think that's a beautiful thing that they made this doll, and now people can remember this little girl forever. Um, I don't know. My mother is recently deceased. I don't think I would want a doll of her. So I carry her memories in my heart and in my mind, and in other little things. But a doll, nah, not for me. But I guess too, it just goes back to our economy and how people are struggling. So I guess people are saying you got to do what you got to do to make a buck these days. I don't know. It was just my personal view on it, and I thought I would share. So, I guess I will sign off, and hopefully it won't cut it off like it's been doing. So, y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Goodbye.